guys, it's Patty from Patty's Crafty Spot, and I'm here to share with you a halfway to Halloween project. It's just a couple weeks late, but I wanted to make a halfway to Halloween project, and I wanted a chance to use some of this beautiful paper from Country Craft Creations. And I use this super cute paper, Bewitching Hour by Country Craft Creations. And this paper is absolutely gorgeous. Love it. The little images and stuff are super pretty. I love the cute little witches. And then this part here with these little flying witches are really cute. So let's see what I did. So this is kind of a remake from a project that I had made a couple of years ago. And it was actually a trifold project that I made. So I made it into a smaller version, and it's basically a hardcover folio, and it opens up like this, just like that, and everything is closed so nothing will fall out, so there's closures and stuff. So let me start off. This is a waterfall, and let me show you. So it just all flips up, and then I have the little string closure, obviously you just saw. So you have can put some pictures that way, and then I also created it where you have these little flips, and you can put pictures this way. So it gives you the option to do landscape and portrait photos. And then a set of little stacked pockets inside, just like that. You can see how cute the paper is, and these are the cut apart cards. Really cute. And it's a fun, simple little project. Doesn't take really very long to put together because it's not a big project. So, and then all closes up, and a little string closure. It's funny because when I originally made this project, the original one was a Christmas one, so now I'm doing it in Halloween. A little different than the original one. This page here was actually on the opposite side, and it was a full acetate window. I didn't feel like playing with acetate this time, so I just kind of revised a few things, flipped it around a little bit, and kind of like how it came out. So a little string closure right here, opens up just like that, and then you can see all the layering here, which is kind of fun. As you add more layer and stuff, it looks really pretty. So on the top part here is just a little pocket. You can see the pretty papers. And the idea of the pocket is to weight down this flap to keep everything else in it closed. So then it flips up. And you can also add a photo here if you wish, and another pocket. So there's lots of pockets. So if you like pockets and something simple, this has a lot of those pockets there. Okay, my virus protection just popped up on my computer. So it's like that, and then room for photos. Now originally on this here, I was going to do a magnet closure, and then in the tutorial you'll see I was talking about the magnet, and then like the very next section that I recorded, I was like, nope, we're not doing magnet, because I knew at that point this was going to get fuller. And if you did a magnet, as you get fuller, your papers start to expand away and you'll lose that connection. So I went with the string closure. So, and I'm happy I did. It looks kind of pretty on it. So, and then it folds this way, and room for photos and stuff. I'm just showing the really pretty paper, but you can go ahead and add some photos in there as well as right here. And then on this part is another nice big pocket, and cut apart cards. And then another page right here. And if I hold this up, you can see this is the back side. Really cute. So another nice big pocket in the back with the cards. And then I made them all into photo mats too, so they all have paper on the back. And then right here is a nice little section for some pull-out photos that you can go ahead and add. And it stays all tucked. And then this little flap here, you can always add a little corner pocket if you wanted to add some kind of a little tag right here. But it all folds back down. So you have the fun of things flipping up and flipping over. So it has a lot of interactive flippings, which is super cute. And then right here, the little house. And then we just close all back up. So it's a fun little project. If you don't have a lot of photos or a small event or something, you can go ahead and put it in it. And then again, everything stays closed, so nothing will fall out. Just like that. All right, so let's get started. We're going to go ahead and make 2 covers. You're going to need 2 pieces at 7 by 9 of chipboard, and you're going to need 1 piece at 1 by 9. So I cut out my cardstock that is 2 inches bigger all the way around. So this is 9 by 11. I'm sorry. And I'm going to put my spacers on. I've already added my tape. And we're going to stick this on. I would have used the video that I already have made, but I'm not actually making an album because there's not going to be any hinge system in it. I'm doing the front and back covers. So it's almost going to be like a hardcover folio. So that. And I'm going to go ahead and add tape to the whole outside. Alright, so I have that all the way on. I'm just going to trim up my corners so I can wrap. And hopefully this album will go together fairly quickly. Or folio. It's not an album. Alright, so I'm just going to fold on everything. And fold that over. Oops. And this side. So I thought this would be a fun little halfway to Halloween project. And something a little different. Halfway to Halloween seems to be something new. I'm sure they had it all the time, but this year it seems to be very popular. I've seen a lot of posts for it. So considering I'm all about the creepy, I decided to jump on this little trend. And I decided to make this little folio. It's based off an album that I had made, I think 3 years ago. Let me see. I actually made it November 25th, 2018. So I am kind of playing off that with the page design a little bit and then just turning it into a cute little folio. And ironically, that one happened to have been a Christmas project. So now I'm making it a Halloween project. All right, so I have that. So let me cut some paper and we can do this guy. All right, so I cut a piece that is 11 by 4 and score it. So I'm going to score this one at 1.5 just for a guide. And then I'll use one of my spacers. And then this guy is going to go just like that. And then I'll use the score line as my guide. And then just a little fold. Okay. And let's fold it this way. And get some good crease lines on it. Okay. And let's add some score tape. And some to this side. And I just want to make sure it has coverage so it's sticking to the whole piece of chipboard. And then let's stick it down. And crease there. And I'm just creasing the paper so it's nice and tight up against the spine. Just like that. And we're just going to break in that paper so it folds nice. And I'm just pressing it up against the spine, trying to get it to kind of flatten out a little bit, so when you put this on here, the paper will be somewhat kind of stuck down. So I'm just going to trim a small angle, not a lot. Oops. So let's go ahead and give that a little trim. So I'm going right up to the edge here and just kind of trimming it a little bit, not a whole lot. Just like that. And let's make sure I didn't cut. So if you end up cutting too tight and you see your chipboard, just hit it with a Sharpie to kind of get that folded down there. So let's go ahead. There we go. So now I'm going to add tape to my little wings. So I added my tape to the spine, and then I added one piece to the edge. And I just kept in mind that the angle, because I did cut on it, so I don't want to really have a lot of tape showing. So I just made sure I kept the angle there. So let's go ahead and stick it down. All right, and let's go ahead and do this. Stick this side down first. All right, and then stick on the other side. So you can see how nice that looks. Oops, what did I drop? Oh, tape. And then I got this side. And make sure that is all lined up. Looks even to me. There we go. Alright, and the only thing, let's see, I need to cover over the spines. I'm going to cut a piece of just flat with some, add tape to it, just to kind of give this all, clean that up a little bit. Alright, so I just cut a piece. I cut it just under 9 inches, so I think it's like 8 7/8, and I put square tape all over it. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the middle here. So what I did, just to find, you can either find the middle or I use tape, so I used two 2-inch ones and then 2 5/8 and 2 3/8, just to kind of be funny. And you don't necessarily have to find the middle. I was just doing it because you're going to cover most of it over. I'm just trying to clean up the edges on here, so I'm just going to stick it on. Making sure so I don't have any overhang. And I'm just going to peel the rest of the tape off. So I'm just going to push on the spine part here to make sure that is flat, and then the tape will just grab it all. Because it does kind of want to pop up in the middle a little bit. So I'm probably making this look more complicated than it needs to be. And let's just go ahead and crease that so we can get it to fold nice. So I'm going to lift up. And just going to keep working it. And same with the other side. And let's get it to fold nice. So I'm just going a little bit at a time, just to kind of break those fibers until I can get it to lay flat. And the same thing with the other side. Little at a time. Okay. And then we have our little book. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out some pieces, and we can go ahead and start decorating. So we're going to decorate the covers, and we're leaving the spine empty, and then that way that will give us our room so we don't get alligator mouth. Tape on 2 spots on each side, and then our little closure. So this little piece here is 1.5 by 4, and on the 4-inch you're going to score at 1 and apply tape. And let's go ahead and put this together. So we're going to start off with our photo mats. So we need 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will leave us 6 left. So 3 and 3. And let's go ahead and get them varnished. And then we're going to stick these down. Alright, so we're going to go to the left side, and I'm just rotating my book because it's easier for me to see. I am going to go ahead and center this to the space, and I'm going to put it almost all the way to the top. Not quite all the way, but almost. So I'm leaving probably about a 1/16 of an inch. press that down, and then I'm going to grab another one. And now this is going to be a waterfall, so I'm going to lift this up. So this one is going to go right here. And then what I like to do is make sure I line up to the top one. And let me double check. And that looks good. And then I'm going to stick this one down. Give it a good burnish because I can see it needs a little extra creasing. And do the next one, same thing. Make sure I'm lined up again. Looks good. And I think that one actually slipped a little bit. Yeah, it did. I can't live with it. I'm so picky about things lining up. So we'll just fix it real quick. Super simple. Yeah, let's just see. Oops. And I can only do this real quick because it still has some of the stuff on it, so I know I have a second to play with that. I could probably pull it right off now still. It would just pop right off. Now we're lined up. Oops, see, it's not completely dry yet. It'll dry in a second though. And then the fourth one. And let's hope this one doesn't move. Okay. And then now what we need to do is we're going to take these, and I need the last 6. So let me just burnish those. Okay. And on this one here now, we're going to lift all of this up, pages up. And this guy is going to go on it. So we're going to go probably right there. So we're going probably about a 1/4 inch away from this side. Like that. And now we're going to alternate, and we're going to go over to the other side like this, keeping the same distance. And once I get it the distance I like it, I'm making sure I'm lined up to this one here, top and bottom. Okay. And then open this one and doing the same thing. So put this one on here, make sure I line up top and bottom. If you're lining up to the opposite side, then you should be even. I'm going to stick this one down. And then, so you're doing 3 and 3. And last one on this side. And then one more for over here. We're almost done with this side. Just like that. And now we're going to open it all the way up. We're going to take our little flap here. We're going to do this one first. This one is going to go, you're going to center it between the last 2 photo mats you put in and all the way to the bottom. So that looks good. Oh, well, that didn't work. This one I don't have to be very picky with, because this one I can see. Okay. And we need our 2 pockets. We are going to trim these guys up. So we're going to cut straight across right there at the X's. Chop off a little at the corner. Same thing with this one. And this is going to be our top pocket, so we're not folding on that bottom one. And then this one here, we're going to fold all the way around. You want to make sure there is no overlapping on your corners, because it does make it a little more difficult. Burnish this one. And let's give this one a burnish. Okay, we're going to put down this one first, and we're going to put this one down, lining it up with those, with the bottom. Well, let's go all the way down. So you're going to center this between the 2 sides, and I'm coming almost all the way down to the bottom there. Remove it. Oh, you know what I want to do first is, because there's kind of a bulk here, and when you go to slide in your pattern paper, it's going to get hung up on that. So a little trick is, if you put a piece of tape there, when you slide your paper down, say like that, this will be like a little ramp, and it'll go over and you won't get caught on that. So it's a little trick I learned. And then this one is just going to tuck right in there like that. And there we go. So you have all these will fold up like this. I would actually alternate them. And then this comes down, and then you have a little string closure that holds all that together. And now we'll work on this side. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the right side of the book. So to start with, you're going to need 2 pieces, and this piece is going to be 7 1/4 by 8 1/2, and you're going to score on the 7 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 3/4, and apply tape to the outside score line. So you're going to essentially have this little gusset here for room to go ahead and build this side, and you're going to need another piece at 3 3 3/4 by 8 1/2, and we're scoring the same thing at 1/2 inch and at 3/4. Tape on the outside, and we're going to go like this. So this piece over here is going to go to the left of the right side pocket, and let's just go ahead and trim back a little bit. I'm going to trim on that one, and we're going to trim over here. Okay, we have this, and I'm going to fold back just so I can see that part, and I'm going to come almost all the way up to where the book closes, so almost all the way up to here. I'll show you. So I'm going to set it down, and I am centering it top to bottom. Looks good. I'm going to stick this one down. So as you can see right now where the book closes, right here, and then this little gusset you'll have like that. I'm going to open it up, and this one here is going to go to the outside, and I want to make sure it's even, so let's fold this back. So I'm folding, let me show you. So here's where our gusset is, just like that, and now I'm folding it back just to give myself some space, so I have more space on this side, and so I have, and I'm going to put this on. Again, you can see how close I'm getting, probably about 1/4 16th of an inch, pretty close to that side, and I'm making sure I'm going to be lined up, oops, lining up to the bottom of this side page, so making sure I'm even top to bottom. And then I can fold it back, and then this side back. So then when it closes up, you're going to have all that space. So now we can go ahead and build our inside pages. And what I plan on doing here is I'm probably going to do a magnet closure here to keep this part here closed onto here. And then this whole nice page here, I'll probably just put on one piece of pattern paper through the whole thing. So that way when it closes, nothing here will get bound up over here, because sometimes when you build up pages, everything kind of sticks to itself. So we'll go ahead and have that. All right, so let's get some more pieces cut out. Okay, so our next 2 pieces, which is C and D, so this was A and this was B, just for reference. And I did say I was going to do a magnet closure on here. However, I am also tempted to maybe have a string closure. We shall see how built up this is at the time, because if it becomes too thick, I don't want to do magnets and then have it not connect properly once it gets too thick here. So I also might do a string closure, because I'm thinking I might end up bulking that up too much. So PC, you're going to cut at 6 3/4 by 8 1/4, and we're going to add some tape to this real quick. I forgot to prep it with tape, and so you have tape, and you're scoring on 1/2 inch on the 6 3/4 side, and then you need another piece that is going to be 6 1/4 by 7 1/2. And on the 6 1/4 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 5/8, and you're creating a smaller little gusset here. So let's go ahead and add some tape. Now, if you want to this bigger window flap right here, you could go ahead and cut out a window to make an acetate window on that. I just don't feel like doing acetate right now, so My original design did have acetate on it, and this one I'm changing it up a little bit. This was also over on this side, and I decided I want to make a little closure part for it. So still keeping what I did originally, but just kind of mixing it up a little bit. So first you're going to put down piece C that has only the 1/2 inch gusset, just like that, no additional score lines. That is going to go right up here. You're going to put that right up to the side, but be careful of this gusset. You don't want to get into that to stop it from folding. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up. And it's almost to that score line, but not quite. And I will show you in 1 second. So you can see right here, here's where it all folds up and nothing is going to get stuck on it now. And then this piece here is going to go right on top of the piece you just put on. And this one is also centering it to the spot. And this one here is going to go right up to the edge. I want it right up on that piece. So as you can see, this one here I put right up on that, and then now when I fold it back a little bit, it has its own little gusset, and then this gusset is a little bigger, so hopefully nothing gets too bulky here. All right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, so our next piece is going to be a pocket, and this pocket is going to be pocket E. Yep, pocket E. This is going to be 7 1/4 by 3 1/2, scoring a 1/2 inch on each side. So that would be at 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4, and then rotate it and score, rotate it this way and score at a 1/2 inch. So we have our little pocket. We're going to trim it up. Just like that. And we're going to fold everything back. Make sure nothing is overlapping. Perfect. And we have our pocket. We're going to take our book. So if we close it all up, so we have the first flap, and then we have this second little flap here with the gusset. And this pocket is going to go ahead and fit right on here. And this is going to fit exactly that space. Oops, I slipped. So now I gotta do it manually. Hold on. Let me throw it back on. I just have a hard time lining it up perfect if I don't hold it down first. So let's try it again. Now it'll stick at least. All right, so let's do the side first. And then I can do this. There we go. Okay, and we'll move on to the next. So we need 3 pieces for this next step. So this is going to be piece F, which is 7 1/2 by 2 1/2. And on this piece here, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and at 7, and then rotate it and score at a 1/2 inch right there. Let's go ahead and trim this piece up. Okay, and then you're going to need, which piece do I have? Okay, so you're going to need another piece. This is going to be 5 by 7, and on the 7 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and add tape. And what you need to do on this one here is go ahead and fold back. Make sure nothing is overlapping. And let's take this piece here. We're just going to fold that piece back so it's just out of our way. And this pocket here is going to go sit right on top. Just like that. And there we go. Make sure you burnish it down. And we still have our tape hiding over here. And we need one more piece. This one is 6.5 by 5.5. And you're going to score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. And we're going to go ahead and apply some tape to this one. Now this is similar to the original, but I did change it up a little bit. On the original, I had a full pocket here with an acetate window. And like I said, I'm not feeling the acetate tonight, so we're going to make it a little different. So now this pocket here is going to go, so I folded it so I can't see the tape, so I folded it down. And this piece is going to go pretty much centered, just like this. So let's go ahead and stick this one down. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to take this piece. We have our little pocket, and that keeps everything in. So let's go back over to this piece here. So this is our, we'll call it, almost kind of call it the door piece. We're going to open that up, and this is going to sit on top of this piece here. And we are going to make it so, put it on, make sure you have some space right in here. Okay, and then let's just press it down. So right now we have this, opens up, and then we have this way. So this is currently what we got going. All right, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so our next piece is going to be 6.5 by 3, and it's also another pocket. So you're going to score 1/2 inch on each end. So at 1/2 inch and at 6, rotate it, score it 1/2 inch on that side. Let's trim it up. All right, and then fold. Can I bring my camera down more? Hold on. I feel like I keep having to watch that I don't go out of picture. Okay, and now this one, so this is what we just put on with the little pocket. This pocket is going to go right on the top. And it also fits perfectly on here. And the purpose of this little pocket is to kind of weight down the flap so everything there stays contained. So it's going to be lots of neat layering here. It'll be fun. All right, so we're going to make some little photo flaps. So these are 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, scoring on the 4 3/4 at 1/2 inch. And I added tape. So let's just trim these guys just a little bit. Just so we don't have anything hanging over. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to get started with the first one. So we're going to fold this one back. So this is the piece that we're going to attach to the book. So now we're going to take this piece and fold so we don't see it. And we're going to attach it just like this. Stick it down. That's what we have right now. And then same with the next piece. We're going to fold it so we don't see the tape. And stick it on. Just like that. Okay, so we got going. We've still got this piece here. And then the last one, same thing again. Fold it so we don't see it. And stick it on just like that. Make sure it's up tight. And just make sure you don't see any tape hanging over anywhere. I don't. All right, so we still have this little flappy doo. Going to take our book. We're going to open everything up. And we are going to put this right up to the edge of where we fold over. So right in here. And I'll show you in 1 second. Just like that. So we have a nice little set of photo mats. You can fold it this way. And everything is all contained. Just like that. So I am thinking by the time I get pattern paper and stuff on, it's going to have to be a string closure because I'm already feeling it like bulking up here. And I haven't even added pattern paper yet or photo mats and stuff like that. So we're going to go with a string closure on that little guy right there. So anyway, the last thing left is we're going to go ahead and put on a pocket. All right, and last piece is a pocket. This is 7.5 by 4, scoring at a 1/2 inch on each side. So on the 7.5 inch side, so that would be 1/2 inch, and scoring at 7 inch, and then rotating it on the 4 inch side and scoring at a 1/2 inch there. This is going to be a pocket for the back. So we're going to trim it up. And fold. Okay, and then we're going to take our book, and this is going to fit right in here. And this one here, we're going to line it up to this flap here and the kind of like the door one, so that way we're just even across the bottom. So looks good. All right, and then it just all folds up. This first, and then this, so you have the nice flat cover to keep anything here from scratching. All right, and that's it. It's time to decorate. All right, so in the beginning of the video, you saw a complete walkthrough of this little album. I hope you enjoy it. If you go ahead and make it, please tag me in it. I'd love to see what you did with it. If you enjoyed this little project, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.